So this is my question. Is it better to design on the fly without a preset plan, or is it better to have a set of plans and to work from those plans? Okay, we're going to answer that question in just a few minutes. Here we go. The project this week is a display case for a very fancy knife. It has a resin handle, or a resin blade, and what looks like it might be a staghorn handle. So I've made some cases before with glass and hard maple, so I figured it could be done. However, I don't have a set of plans to work from, so I'm going to be designing this on the fly. Here we go. Designing on the fly is basically what I do for almost all art projects. There are some projects that I've made, like the 5-foot tall lighthouse. You can find that in my library of films. That was made with plans, and I followed those. That worked very well. But most of the art that I make is just that, art, and there's really not any plans for that kind of thing. So I'll take you through what we did and point out some design on the fly episodes as we get to them. I first thought about a vertical display, having the knife straight up and down. And I'm glad I didn't spend any time developing plans for that, because the customer indicated that that was his least favorite option. So I sent him a couple of pictures of some walnut pieces that I was thinking about for the base. And then I told him about some glass options that I was thinking about. And we chose to use antique handmade glass with some imperfections in it. With a mostly glass top, I started with the hard maple edge pieces. First they were surfaced to 3/8 of an inch, and then a 1/4 by 1/4 inch bite was taken out in a single pass at the router table. After that, the pieces were ripped to 3/8 of an inch on a table saw. Now, sanding them as a group assures that one of them won't come out thinner than the others. I didn't actually cut enough good pieces of the maple, so I wound up using some of the test pieces because I wasn't following any plans. I didn't know how many pieces I needed actually. So the next thing to do was to work on the base. So I took the walnut and I started to flatten the middle of it, because there was a high spot in the middle. So I started flattening that. The first design change on this was I made the length of the project a little shorter because of the anticipated lack of hard maple pieces that I would need. Part of designing on the fly was knowing that I wanted to have an angled top, but I wasn't stressing about what angle it was going to be because I knew when I got there I'd figure it out. So I think that's part of the challenge of designing on the fly, is just having to figure stuff out when you get to it. Okay, so here's a design change on the fly. I was going to use 3/16 dowel to hold a knife in place, you know, as pins. But I thought that it'll look too clunky, so I'm going to go with toothpicks because there's really not a lot of weight, and if it's held in one place, It's only sitting in a display box. I think it'll be much better. It doesn't take anything away from the knife, the subject. So that's what we're going to do. Design change on the fly. Ha! Broke it apart. Well, that was a massive mistake. This is our 1 7/8, and I drew the line to there. So that's going to change our angle and our distance here. So let's do that. And let's connect our 6 to our 1 7/8. I was looking at it and I said, what's that line off to the side? Now what's our length? Ooh, that changed a lot. That's 7 5/8. So it's going to be 7 5/8. But we have to account, no, so we're talking about our length of glass, we have to account for 2 thicknesses of this. So if we have 2 thicknesses of that, what does that measure? Somewhere in the neighborhood of 1/4 of an inch. So minus 1/4 minus 2/8 is 1/4. That's 3/8. So the glass should be 7 3/8 that way. We don't know what it is the other way yet. We'll figure that out. Right now we can look at making uprights maybe. This is antique handmade window glass, which came out of our house. When we put replacement windows in, I kept the glass and got rid of the sashes. Thank you so very much for watching today. I really appreciate it. If you're an artist, do you design on the fly? Generally speaking, I think we as artists have an idea of what the finished product wants to look like, but how we get there, I don't know. I'm not sure that devoting any time to developing plans is any more efficient than just having at it and designing on the fly. So again, thank you so very much for watching. If you'd like to hit the like button or to subscribe, really help the channel. If you feel this is worth sharing with a friend, please do that. And we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks again. I welcome your comments, and I read every one of them. Okay, so designing on the fly. I couldn't figure out how to make these corner pieces match up with the front or with the top. And then I said, wow, how about if I glue the side pieces in and then set it on top of there and see what it looks like. So that's what I'm doing. Figuring out the uprights proved to be the most challenging thing. And we'll figure out, we'll find out how I dealt with that in just a minute. Well, here it is. And we've got some darn light in our way. You know, the problem with the tapered glass is that it's going to reflect light, I think, in different directions. So here's what we have. I like the fact that you can see the voids in the end of the wood. It was a challenge to make, and whether or not designing on the fly works for anybody else, it works for me. All right. Hey, thanks for watching. Hey, listen, if you'd like me to make something custom for you, head over to www.claytonswoodart.com, hit that contact page, and let's have a conversation about me making something custom just for you. All right? And here's something you're probably going to want to watch. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.